Hello everybody and welcome. This is lesson in English language for second grade of secondary school. The topic is tourism and travel, and this is part 2 about being stranded on a desert island. My name is Rejhana Nuhanović Tadijan and I will be your teacher today. Odgojno-obrazovni ishodi tijekom i nakon današnjeg sata su prepoznavanje informacija u slušanom izvornom tekstu, obrazlaganje svog odabira u zamišljenoj situaciji, opisivanje zamišljene situacije uz primjenu vezivnih sredstava. Od pribora potrebna vam je olovka i bilježnica, elektronički uređaj s pristupom internetu i QR kod čitač. So, today we will start by giving some of reasons why and why not to travel. So you can pause the video and write down everything that comes to your mind about the reasons to travel and reasons against it. Here are some of my reasons. So it's about learning. Traveling is about learning languages, about learning about different cultures, about history, about food. It's about adventure, exploration. You can de-stress, you can escape from everyday life. Traveling can also be a challenge to see how you handle different situations. You gain a lot of confidence and you learn a lot about yourselves and your behavior and your strengths and limitations in different situations. You create many memories and you make a lot of new friends. What about against? Do you have any reasons against traveling? Here are some of mine. So the first one is the lack of company. So, for example, you don't have anyone who wants to travel with you and you don't want to travel alone. Then there's fear. Fear of flying or fear for your own safety. There's also a lack of time, so you work a lot, you don't have the time to travel, you don't have enough money to travel, or maybe you think you are too young or too old to travel, or you are afraid because you are not confident about your language skills, you don't know how you will be able to communicate with other people. So these are all reasons for staying at home and not traveling. But if you do want to travel, what would be some jobs that offer you a lot of these experiences? For example, au pair. Au pair is usually a girl who goes abroad to a family where she takes care of the children and the household, and she lives there with that family. In exchange, she gets accommodation and food and some pocket money. Then we have popular travel bloggers who travel and write about it. Then we have politicians, explorers, photographers, journalists, tour guides, flight attendants and pilots, and cruise ship workers. When we mention cruise ship workers, I have a task for you. Imagine that you are a traveler on a cruise ship or a worker on a cruise ship, and suddenly you end up stranded on a desert island. Why is that? What has happened? You've been shipwrecked. Shipwrecked means that you have had an accident in which your ship was destroyed or sunk at sea, and you ended up stranded on a desert island. So if that were the case, what would you do? If you were stranded on a desert island, what would you do? For example, if I got stranded on a desert island, I would build a shelter. Or I would use a mirror if I didn't have matches. So what structure do you use in these situations? So these are situations that are imaginary or not very likely to happen. What's the name of that structure? You have done that before. It's second conditional, and this is how it is made. So you use if and past simple, and then in the main part you use would or could and the infinitive. So you use it, as I have said, for imaginary situations, something that's not very likely to happen, or you can also use it in the present situation for something that's not possible, for something that's not true now. So since you have already done this structure, we will just try and practice it a bit. So we have 4 sentences and we will try to fill in the gaps with what's missing. So what do you think? If I didn't find, so that's past simple, I didn't find water, I would drink coconut water. Next sentence. If I had a rope, I would make a hammock. Then it would be great if there were no snakes. And I wouldn't sleep in the jungle if I saw a monkey. I have another game for you. You can type in this link, or you can scan this QR code. You can pause the video and do it now, or you can copy the link in your notebooks and do it later. If you scan this QR code, it will take you to this page where your task is to match these sentences. So halves of sentences, you match them and you get a correct sentence. After that, we will play another game. The game is Your Ship is Sinking. So imagine that your ship is sinking and there is only one lifeboat. It's for you and 4 other people. You will have to choose which people you will take. So you will have to write positive and negative sides for each of them. You will see the list of people on the next slide, and I will just give you an example. For example, if you had an English teacher who is female and 42 years old, you could write as positive sides that she knows how to organize people, and for negative sides, that she can sometimes, maybe, be a bit too bossy. So here are the people, and you have to choose 4. Nurse, farmer, a doctor, teenager, a chef, a National Geographic reporter, an actress, a PE teacher, a housewife, a lawyer. So you can pause the video, choose 4 people, and write positive and negative sides for each of them. When you finish, you again have to choose 4, but this time not people, but items. So choose 4 items to take with you to this stranded island. Choose wisely. So the first one is an axe, a first aid kit, a compass, a hammock, a lamp, inflatable raft, pot, a rifle, a rope, a mirror, a tent, a fishing rod, hiking boots, a knife, a lighter, and toilet paper. So think about it, choose 4, and write sentences. I would take, for example, lighter because I could make fire. So choose 4 and choose wisely. When you finish, you have to make a plan. What would you do first if you were stranded on this desert island? What would you do next? So in the order of importance, you have to write 5 sentences and use these linkers. How would you behave? What do you think is the most important? When you finish, you will watch this video. Again, you have a QR code to scan, or you can type in this link, or you can copy it and do it later. So you should watch the video and check, see if you have made the right plan. What do people say? Again, you will have to see what are the things that you need to put your focus on. And while you watch, you should pay attention especially to the first half of the video because you will have questions later. So you can pause this video and watch this clip and then we will come back. So let's check your understanding. The first question is, how many days could you last without food? What did they say? It's 3 weeks. You should avoid plants with red berries. Is it true or false? It's false. The beach could be dangerous because of the sandflies. True or false? It's true. What can you use to light a fire so you don't have matches or lighter? You could use a lens or dry leaves and a stick. Now you have a coconut. Coconut has a few parts. It's fibers, shell, flesh, and water inside. You have to think of as many uses for this coconut as you can. So there are different parts and you should use all of these parts. So be creative and come up with ideas on how you can use a coconut when you're stranded on a desert island. And now imagine there are 3 situations when you are on this island and you have to choose one. The first situation on the island is there are no wild animals, but there is a strong storm every 8 hours which destroys everything. There are poisonous snakes everywhere except on the beach. However, the beach disappears at high tide. And the third possibility is the island is nice and warm during the day, but during the night the temperatures drop to minus 20 degrees and everything freezes. So now you have to choose your situation. Choose one. You have these 4 items that you have brought with you, and you have these other 4 people that you have chosen. And your task is to make a survival plan. So what would you do? You should choose one situation and you should use all 4 of these items, but not more than 4. And you shouldn't change your mind now. So you have chosen the situation and the people and the items. You should be creative. You should use second conditional and these connecting words like first, next, then, after that, and finally. When you finish, you send your survival plan to your virtual classroom teacher for feedback. Here is a checklist to help you assess to what extent you have managed to do the task. So you put your ticks under either the smiley face or the sad face. I hope you have had fun today and I hope that you have learned something new. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.